one of the things that's very critical, especially on the B2C side, is Google. And obviously Google's used for everything. If you're not familiar with it, there's a lot of data on the website about this, but setting up a business profile is critical. Reserve with Google is a program that has actually a booking and scheduling link inside of Google results. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty much being propagated everywhere. And then there's something called Google Assistant and Google Duplex, which I don't know if people use that much, but I've actually seen it happening. So what this is, if you're not familiar with it, if you talk to your Google Assistant, sort of like Siri, you can say, get me an appointment at this, and then we'll go out and connect to a calendar at that business. Now, if that business doesn't have a calendar system or an automated scheduling system, Google Assistant will actually call them. And this is an AI system. And if you haven't seen this, it actually is in use. I tried it myself while I was in Wellesley, getting a haircut at a place. And I said, I'm going to go on to reserve with Google because I see you're in here. And it actually called them at the desk. And I said, put it on speakerphone. And they ran through the scenario, and it was unbelievable. This is an example that Google publishes about an appointment being set up for a hair salon appointment. So remember this.
How can I help you? Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd. Sure, give me one.
So that actually, what you just heard was not a real person. That was a Google AI. It's truly somewhat frightening, but that person goes through the process of actually, booking that. Now this next one is actually quite interesting. For some reason, I can't get to the play button here because it's being blocked. Here we go. This is a restaurant reservation being made by Google.
See how may I hear you?
Hi, I'd like to reserve a table for Wednesday the 7th.
For 7 people?
It's for 4 people.
4 people when?
Next Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Oh, actually, we leave serve for after 5 people. For 4 people, you can come.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there. Or at least try to stop it there, because what ends up happening is there aren't any reservations available. And she says, just come on in, it's not too busy. But those people sound like real people, and that is an AI. And so one of the things you might say about this is, wow, that's a little bit frightening. The one thing I will say here, though, is that you want to, as a business, avoid having Duplex calling you. The reason it's calling these locations is they have no appointment scheduling system set up in an automated way. So basically, Google doesn't have a choice. If you had Reserve with Google hooked in, it would do it automatically, which makes a lot more sense. So I don't know how people feel about that. I've got mixed feelings about the solution, but Michael, you're asking about chatbots, and yes, that has been used as well. In fact, I was involved with a project that used chatbots in several use cases, primarily with Facebook chat. And what we found on that, just sort of talking about technology, is that it doesn't really work that well because it's an awful lot of steps to make an appointment. The chatbot says, well, what are you coming in for? Okay, what day would you like? Okay, what time would you, there's a lot of text going back and forth, where what I have found is most people are pretty receptive to the idea of seeing a calendar, sort of icon and a calendar, let's say, is similar to other things they see in their life. They know what that is. And so therefore, the idea of trying to do that through a chat when you don't have to doesn't necessarily work that well. At least that's my opinion. The other side of this is Facebook. So if you have customers that are using Facebook, or you have a small business, they have a built-in appointment scheduling, and it's actually very complete, pretty cool. And they also have a way to connect with other partners who are the vendors. The only thing I would say about their built-in solution, it's kind of like if you only use Facebook for everything you do and all of your customers are on Facebook, which might be the case for some small businesses, great, but it's really very hardwired and it doesn't play well with others, which is not shocking. And that's kind of a trend in some of these systems.